Hi everyone, this is Pierrick from Picaut Design. In this video I will show you how I've done this animation in Blender. As you may know, I'm doing a lot of animation lately for the game Noara, which will be released very soon. You can already subscribe to be an alpha tester. You will find the link in the description below. As I'm working for in-game animation, I always have to start from the default pose, which is the idle position. The first step will be blocking of the different poses. So in this case I want to do a big jump and slash attack. That will be a special move of the character. I will be using a pretty common workflow, which is the blocking, then timing, and finally polishing with the splining and animation curve retouching. So in the first step I'm just setting the main poses using an arbitrary 5-frame step. In this regard, I'm using the dope sheet as I don't need to see the curve for animation yet. This is basically the UI I'm using, 3D workspace on the left, then the dope sheet or curve editor in the middle, and on the top right some kind of previewing window where I just set the display to only render so that I just see the raw character without all the controllers. As it's an animation for a game, I will avoid to have a too long anticipation where the character is gathering energy, because you have to have very fast animation whenever the player will engage the action, he wants to see it. I'm absolutely not considering timing for the time being. Every chunk of keyframes are set to constant so that there is no interpolation between the different poses. Once my wall blocking is done, I like to revise each pose to make them stronger and have a better flow between the different poses. Then I will add a few intermediate poses that will help to read the animation even in the blocking stage and make sure that some movement of the body are respected, avoiding straightforward movements. I can now start working on the timing by moving big chunks of keyframes, mainly offsetting the different poses I've created during the blocking stage in time. This will allow me to bring contrast into the animation. I really like when the character rises very fast, float a bit into the air and get to the ground with very high speed. I then switch to Bezier interpolation and I've checked if the timing was okay for me. I will have to revise it for sure, but this gives me a good idea of the timing of the animation. This is where I start polishing the animation using the curve editor. I always start with the main torso controller so that I can revise the position of the whole character and I can input more weight to him. I generally then work on the feet because for me they really help to read the timing of the animation and the animation in itself, because they make contact with the ground. Once you have the feet and the torso polished, or at least more correctly timed, the animation will look very different and it will really enhance its readability. I will then start to revise the position of the pole target for the knees, offsetting them from the contact poses so that we can have a better positioning of the legs, but also create this sense of weight with the knee coming to the ground a little later after the contact pose. Then I will work on the spine, starting with the hips and slowly getting up to the head. To create a nice and smooth and dynamical animation, I really like to slightly offset the spine, then the chest, the neck, and finally the head. So starting from the hips and getting up to the head will allow me to naturally do so. I then work with the hands as I'm using for this specific animation a full IK setup, and then I will be working on all the follow-through parts like the tail, the fin and the claws. And these for me are very important because they will break the stiffness of the character in putting very smooth movements to it. Alright, we are now done with this video. If you want to see the full process in a time-lapse, just let me know. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. See you very soon.